Hi, it's Rob from the Brush and Boltgun. Today I'm going to be doing the third part in a series of painting Orc Skin. If you'd like to support me, my Ko-fi and Patreon pages are linked below. Now on to the video. There's a finished Orc Skin that we're going to be working on for this miniature. Very quick and simple method to do it, but it'll give you a little bit of variety in your Morannon Orcs. All we're going to use is Citadel Morghast bone, and we're going to be using this to paint all of the skin. So just give it a good smooth layer of this, and we can move on to the next colour. Now we're going to use a little wash of Citadel Seraphim Sepia. This will give that Morghast bone colour a bit of a yellowy orange tinge to it. So playing around with different shades on this colour, on some of the other colours we'll be using in the videos, does give you a nice variety and a different kind of hue to each of the skin tones. Once the shade's dry, you want to be returning to Citadel Morghast bone. You're going to use a nice thin brush to work the colour back onto the miniature. So you want to be avoiding all those recesses and the little bits where the shade has pooled, and just go over it so you're picking out like the cheekbones, the nose, the chin, the lips, any of the details around the face. Now there is quite a few details, because they are a lot smaller than your 40k or miniatures of similar things like that. They are quite small miniatures, the Middle Earth strategy battle ones. So it is a bit more tricky to pick out those details, but if you just give it your best, it will look sound once it's on the tabletop. I'm going to mix a tiny little bit of white with the Morghast bone just to get a nice little highlight colour. And we're just going to start to reapply that to the miniature. So we're picking out some of the areas that be catching the most light here. Little bits on that cheekbone, which seem quite sharp. Also the lips and parts of the nose. And bits of the cheek too. Just going to work on a few little bits on the hand too, just to give those a little highlight. I just wanted to darken a few little patches on the nose and sort of around the face. So I'm going to use some Citadel Athonian Camoshade just to darken them up a little bit and make those recesses stand out just that little bit more. Use some Citadel Carroburg Crimson just to do the mouth. That's a nice easy method to do the mouth here because they're quite small. If you use a thin brush, you can just put some of that into the mouth. That'll make it a really dark red because it's got plenty of pigment in there. Then you can pick out the teeth once it's dry. Now all we're going to do is use a little bit of Citadel Ushabti bone to pick out those teeth. So again, using a nice small brush, you're just going to put a little tiny speck of that on each of the teeth to make them stand out. Two of the final things we're going to do is use a little bit of Vallejo White just to paint the eyes onto them. They are very small, so using a tiny little bit of white again to go over those areas where we put some Carroburg Crimson onto the eyelids, just to darken those up a little bit. So you're dragging the brush from the nose to the outside of the head, just so you don't get any white on that armour or on his nose. And then finally we're going to use a tiny little bit of Vallejo Black just to put a little spot in each eye to represent the iris and the pupil. With that, he's done. This is the finished Orc Skin. Really pleased with how it turned out on the tabletop. You get a few different varieties down there. It will look really cool in the one big squad. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you have, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future content. Also, think about subscribing to some of our other social media, linked below. Thanks very much. The channel and you'll enjoy the content and you'd like to support me, my Ko-fi and Patreon pages are linked below. Thanks very much.